everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge and 5 more best bets for the night in sports. Of course, I'm your boy, the coach. Oh, we are powered as always by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting. And it's not close. A little housekeeping breaking news that happened just a couple of hours ago. First, the LA Chargers. What a shock. I told you guys yesterday that Mike Williams would not play. What a shock. My inside sources were right. He was ruled out today, a fractured back. And Brandon Staley saying, all of our players are important. Really? Not everybody's Mike Williams. Also, second big news today. Skylar Thompson, for the second week in a row, will start at quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. That line has now moved to minus 13.5 for the Bills. And he led the Dolphins to all of 9 points last week against the Jets. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know him. You love him. Speculator. Zack Attack, and, of course, the Maestro. Maestro, I got to start off asking you about those two big breaking news items earlier today. No doubt that will affect the games this weekend.
Yeah, the Chargers are a different team when they have Keenan Allen and both Mike Williams on the field. And this is a warning. When you get those early notices after the game, no, it's nothing serious. He should be fine. Just some spasms. He'll play through it. You really got to wait. And when we see today, he's not even traveling with the team. They went 5-1 with the only loss being 30-27 to the Chiefs when they had both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in the lineup. That is a huge loss, and Brandon Staley is really going to be in trouble if they lose this game because he not only Mike Williams, but Joey Bosa is going to play, but he's a little banged up. No reason to play them last week. And then on the other one, everyone expected it, Skylar Thompson, because of Teddy Bridgewater's injury. So we're seeing this 13.5, could close at 14.
If Staley wasn't going to be booted before, after his press conference today, I would boot him. He played nobody in the preseason. And yet you're going to tell me that last week was not the same as that? It was. And you played your guys. And it cost you. And you're going to lose this week. That's why. All right. Now, Specty, I've got to address you for a second. Because you have been our savage on this show. And there's one thing to have a bad beat in regulation. But to have Luka hit not one bomb, but 2 bombs to send it into 2 overtimes. And the Lakers plus 3.5 lose by 4. It still stings this late in the day. But, hey, everybody in the chat, they have your back. Your thoughts today, sir?
Hey, it was rough. And to make it worse, remember the day before I had the Pacers plus 5, and they lost by 6. So
it was rough.
Yes, it was rough. Yeah. But, you just got to lock up Luka on that last minute. Pull back, step back 3 like that. Like, he's going to shoot that shot, and he's good at that shot. I would have just made sure he didn't have the ball in his hand. Definitely, again, stand by that pick. I think it was the right pick on the data. Just 2 great plays by Luka. Just greatness right there.
It was the right pick. They were up 3 both times. It was absolutely the right pick.
Yeah.
All right. Now, according to Adam Schefter, according to the chat, Sean McVay back for the Rams. And also, we've already cashed 1 ticket today as a brand. Our man Buckets, all kidding aside, the man is a savage. Juventus, Napoli, both teams to score, and it happened in the first half. Literally no sweat whatsoever. All right, let's get into our board for the day. And Zack Attack, I apologize that you had to sit here this long before you got to talk. So I'm going to let you go first. Who do you like today, sir?
All right, Coach, going with an underdog with the Phoenix Suns getting 5 points against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We've seen the same story throughout the NBA. Teams that are shorthanded, but doesn't necessarily mean they can't win or present value in the betting markets. I know the Suns haven't been winning a lot of games, but they're not going to have 4 guards, key guards, and Chris Paul, Andrew Shamet, Devin Booker, and Cameron Payne, but they are going to have DeAndre Ayton back on the floor. That is a little bit of a plus for a team that's been playing so shorthanded the past week. And I look at the way they responded against the Golden State Warriors. They beat them twice earlier this year when they were healthy, then beat them as big underdogs with being shorthanded. So they can look back at that. They've already beat the Timberwolves twice this year convincingly, both wins by 9 points or more. So I think they can lean back on that against a Timberwolves team that had a 10-0 lead against the Detroit Pistons, were very flat, got outscored by 27 points to lose by 17 points against the Detroit Pistons. I think this is going to be a flat spot at home. I'll take the Suns plus the 5.
And that game is at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. Now, also staying with a West Coast team, Speculator, I'm coming to you because tonight a very special game, and they're expecting 50,000 people plus to watch the Warriors and the Spurs. You like a prop in this game? Talk to me.
Yeah, that number is even bigger. It's 62,000 people.
Let's go.
NBA record. Yeah. And, after those two bad beats, I had to go with my favorite player, reliable, Steph Curry, over 27.5 points at -130. The magic number tonight is going to be 30. 30 is going for 30 plus points. The Spurs are 30th in defensive rating, allowing 121 points per game. They are 30th in three-point defense allowed, allowing 39.8% of three-pointers by the opposing team to go in. The Spurs and Warriors also both play at an extremely fast pace. The Spurs are 7th in the league, and the Warriors are 1st in the league in pace. There's going to be a lot of points scored tonight. And in Steph Curry's first game back against the Suns, which was an ugly game, he still played 31 minutes. That's important because we know coming off that injury that he does not have a minutes restriction. And lastly, you said it. They're in the dome, 62,000. It could affect the depth perception a little for the players, but I'm betting on the fact that there's so many people in attendance that Steph is just going to want to put on a show.
Oh, speculator, you know how much I love you. You know how much respect I have for you. But you also know that I was a basketball player myself, and there is no worse shooting environment than a dome. And, sir, how good do you feel about this pick today?
I feel good. I feel good about it because let me tell you, there's no worse shooting in a dome, but there's no better shooter in the NBA than Steph Curry.
Okay, true. So let's put it to the test. I don't like this play. So, are you in or are you out?
I'm in, Coach. Let's do it.
No, that's not the line. I believe it's AB. Hit the music.
Hit the music.
What?
It's gonna be a showdown.
Oh, speculator. 6'3.5", 250, 5'8", a solid $150. But yet today we are mano a mano right here. I could not be. In fact, this is how confident I am in this bet. I'm going to give the number at 26.5, not 27.5. The number is going to be 26.5. Just for you, I'm going to give you a point.
I appreciate that. I'll take it. I'll take anything I can get.
All right, me and the speculator having a little showdown tonight because I'm on this same game. And part of the reason that I just caused the showdown is because I don't think the shooting is going to be very good in this game. I like the Spurs plus 8.5. In the last 5 games, they've stayed within this number. In fact, they played the Memphis Grizzlies 2 times in a row, and they have stayed within this number, 6 and 8. They lost to the Celtics by 5. They beat the Pistons by 12. They lost to the Knicks by 3. The Spurs, even when they don't win, they seem to stay within the number. And I love this number in the dome tonight, plus 8.5. All right, Maestro, you know what time it is, son. Floor is yours.
All right, I'm going to go to the MAC and the Akron Zips. I think they explode tonight against Eastern Michigan. Terrible defensive team, 80 points a game, 49% allowed. Akron is looking for that third scorer. They have 2 big guys. They have a lot of guys that have stepped up. I think they're going to have 5 or 6 players in double digits tonight. Lay 13.5 with the Zips. And then in football, NFL football, of course, Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals at MGM. This is only at -120. Facing a Ravens defense, number 3 in red zone defense, and over the last 3 games, only 20% of red zone trips have resulted in touchdowns. This is a great Baltimore defense, and this is a game where you take the points. Baltimore's not going to score a lot, so you take those field goals. Last postseason, he crushed this number every single game, and he's coming in 13 out of 14, so let's go Evan McPherson over 1.5.
And do you know why that happened? Do you know why that stat exists? Because in the playoffs, Maestro, they don't go for it on 4th and 3. They take the points. You take the points. I love this play. There's no taking chances. You take the points every chance that you can get. Quick chat question, Zach, to you. Do you like the over in your Suns game? It's right around 222, 221.5.
I don't love it. I like the Suns side better, so I wouldn't intermix that in. We know the Timberwolves just gave up 135 points against the Pistons. I do think the Suns stay in the game, so whatever the Suns point total is, I would probably play that over versus the complete game over.
Okay. We were on the Suns under a couple of days ago, and they shot to the over in that game. We didn't cash. By the way, speculator, people have your back in the chat. amazingly enough. Bangwater 8 says, I think that's Bongwater 8. Bongwater 8 says, Spec ain't scared. I love the cool kids. I mean, you're not scared. That's what that meant. I know you probably didn't know what that meant. All right. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of AB on the ones and the twos. The Maestro, a little match-in on a Friday night on the hardwood. Akron minus 13.5. They have low key. When they get to March, this team could do some damage coming out of the MAC if they can make it through their conference tournament. They're that good this year. Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals, minus 120. Then Zack attacks on the Suns, plus the 5. Speculators on Steph Curry over 27.5 points, minus 130. We have a showdown at 26.5 points. If it hits 27, I'm going to be pissed. And then the Spurs plus 8.5. I see a lot of you wanting to participate in our Name the Golf Show contest. You don't have to ask where we can put it. You either put it in the chat, put it on Twitter, or as AB said, you can put it in the chat next week. We're going to name the show by February. Been some really good ones. We're collecting all of them. You guys can be a part of it, all right? Do not forget, the reason we start the show at 3:30 Eastern Time is because our Prop Spectacular. Never been a more important week than Wild Card Week. Top of the hour in about 17 minutes. Me, Sia Najad, the counselor, Prop Stars, and also Uncle Dave will be here live. Same channel for all of your prop questions and your prop bets for the 6 games this weekend. We never stop grinding. We love doing it so much. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these in-5 tickets straight, except for Steph Curry, to the pay window for my entire crew. Love them all. Speculator, Maestro, Zack Attack. I am the coach. Of course, AB on the ones and the twos. Oh, we grind for you so we can win with you. That's what we're all about here at the Early Edge. And sometimes, oh, yes, just sometimes these days, we do it in 5. Good luck.